Good afternoon, students. In the previous class, we had discussed various types of management objectives. We discussed that there are three different categories of management objectives. First is personal or employee related objectives. Second is organization or economic objectives. And third category is social objectives. Then we discussed that there are five main functions of management: planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling. After which we also discussed a very important term, coordination. We saw the example of a march past, of an orchestra, how coordination is so important, right? So what was the definition of coordination, if you remember? Coordination is the orderly synchronization of the efforts of individuals working in groups through proper sequencing, timing. Sequencing, you remember we discussed in a march past, the soldiers know which foot to lift first, then which one, which arm to lift first, then which one. That is sequencing. Then comes timing. टाइमिंग किससे वो मैच करते हैं? ड्रम बीट्स के साथ. सो प्रॉपर सीक्वेंसिंग, टाइमिंग, बैलेंसिंग and integration of various activities to ensure smooth flow of work. This orderly synchronization is called coordination. Now let us discuss characteristics or features or nature of coordination. First is, it is a deliberate activity. Deliberate means something done intentionally. कोऑर्डिनेशन अपने आप से नहीं हो जाएगी. आपने सोल्जर्स का एक ग्रुप खड़ा कर दिया और उन्हें बोलो कि चलो मार्च पास्ट करो. They will not be able to march in coordination unless and until you start beating the drum. So some intentional effort needs to be made to bring about coordination. Similarly, in an organization, managers need to make a deliberate effort to bring coordination in various activities in their respective departments or teams. Second point, integrates group effort. इसको हम सिनर्जी भी कहते हैं, जिसको हम हिंदी में कहते हैं एक और एक 11. क्या मतलब होता है इसका एक और एक 11 का? सपोज एक अकेला आदमी जितना काम करता है, अगर हम एक और आदमी को काम पे लगा दें तो उसका डबल काम हो जाएगा. लेकिन जब दो लोग मिलकर अच्छी कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ, तालमेल के साथ सेम काम को करते हैं, द रिजल्ट अचीव्ड कैन बी अप टू द लेवल ऑफ 11 वर्कर्स वर्किंग टुगेदर, 11 पीपल वर्किंग. तो यहां से ये कहावत आई एक और एक 11, कि जब एक और एक दो लोग मिलकर अच्छी कोऑर्डिनेशन के साथ काम करते हैं तो 11 लोगों के बराबर काम कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. सो coordination unifies the efforts of individuals in such a way that results achieved by the team are more and better than the sum of results achieved by individuals. ठीक है. हम टीम वर्क की बात करते हैं तो टीम की फुल फॉर्म एक क्या हो सकती है? टुगेदर एवरीवन अचीव्स मोर. आई रिपीट, टुगेदर एवरीवन अचीव्स मोर. टीम वर्क. ठीक है. थर्ड फीचर इज यूनिटी ऑफ एक्शन. कोऑर्डिनेशन इज एन ऑर्डरली अरेंजमेंट ऑफ एफर्ट्स और टुवर्ड्स व्हाट? टुवर्ड्स कॉमन ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. अगर हम दूर से एक ग्रुप को मार्चिंग करते हुए देखते हैं तो हमें ऐसे लगता है जैसे आर्मी का एक टैंक चला जा रहा हो, इंडिविजुअल्स पे ध्यान नहीं जाता. सिमिलरली जब हम एक ऑर्केस्ट्रा को कोई म्यूजिक प्ले करते हुए सुनते हैं तो हमें इंडिविजुअल इंस्ट्रूमेंट्स की आवाजें नहीं सुनाई देती हैं अलग अलग, हमें एक होलसम म्यूजिक सुनाई देता है. दैट इज द ब्यूटी ऑफ कोऑर्डिनेशन. इट यूनिफाइज द एक्शन ऑफ इंडिविजुअल्स इन सच अ वे दैट वी गेट अ यूनिफाइड होलसम रिजल्ट. नेक्स्ट फीचर इज कॉन्टिन्यूअस प्रोसेस. कोऑर्डिनेशन इज अ कॉन्टिन्यूअस प्रोसेस. आप मार्चिंग में बीच में ड्रम बीट अगर रोक दो तो वहीं पे कोऑर्डिनेशन बिगड़ जाएगी. सो coordination is required to be done on a continuous basis. You can't do like this कि एक बार आपने coordination के लिए efforts करने शुरू किए बीच में छोड़ दिए, ये assume करके कि अब अपने आप coordination में काम होता रहेगा, नहीं. The managers have to continuously make efforts to maintain coordination. Next feature is pervasive. Coordination is required in all the departments, at all the levels, in all organizations, anywhere in the world. Okay, so it is pervasive, or we can say it is universal. You remember we also discussed this feature in management. Management is pervasive. Similarly, coordination is also pervasive. Then it is the responsibility of all managers. चाहे वो किसी भी डिपार्टमेंट में हो, किसी भी लेवल पे हो, किसी एक मैनेजर का काम नहीं है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कोऑर्डिनेशन इंश्योर करना. एवरी मैनेजर हैज टू इंश्योर कोऑर्डिनेशन इन हिज और हर टीम और डिपार्टमेंट. क्लियर? आर द कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स क्लियर? ओके. Okay, before we proceed further, one important thing I want to discuss. Whenever some characteristics, features, or importance, whatever question is asked, you may give certain points in the class discussion to which I say, if I find them correct, I'll say they are correct. Yes. But remember, for examination purpose, you can write those points only if they are given in NCERT. So you have to write points exactly as given in the NCERT. Point headings have to be the same. You cannot deviate from that from examination purpose, right? Some examiner may give you marks for other points which are correct but not as per NCERT. Some other examiner may not. So why to take that risk? So in internal exams also, we'll follow this policy that for examination purpose, your answer should be, the point headings should be exactly as per the NCERT, although some other points may also be correct. But you have to restrict yourself to the points given in NCERT. Now, tell me, is coordination also a function of management? Like planning, like organizing, like directing, and so on? Yes. Okay, let's understand this with the help of this example. All our body parts have different functions. Our eyes have some function. The function is to see. Our nose has some function to smell. Our hands have some other function, and so on. But all our body parts require continuous blood supply to perform their functions. Similarly, in management, coordination is that blood supply. It is required for proper performance of each and every function. How? Let us see. So what we say is coordination is the essence of management. It is essentially required in all the functions of management. It is not a separate function of management. Instead, it is required in every function. How? Let's see. First of all, planning. प्लानिंग में कोऑर्डिनेशन कैसे चाहिए? टॉप लेवल कुछ मास्टर प्लान्स बनाती है. On the basis of those master plans, the departmental managers, middle level managers make plans for their departments. So they have to coordinate their planning with the master plan. When these middle level managers pass on their plans to the supervisory level, now supervisors have to plan activities of their teams in coordination with the plans provided by middle level management. So in this way, at every level, coordination is required in planning. Then next function is organizing. In organizing, what we do is we divide the work into departments, into jobs. But what is the purpose of dividing the work? The purpose is specialization, so that each department specializes in particular type of activities, like marketing department, marketing. Production department focuses just on production and so on. But we should remember the activities of all the departments are interrelated. For example, if marketing department says that we need to increase production, there is more demand in the market, we can sell more. Now, who will increase this production? The production department. Suppose production department now says they need more machinery, more equipment to increase production. Purchase department will come into picture. Finance department will also come into the picture because they have to allocate funds for it. So in this manner, various activities of departments are interlinked and interconnected. So it is very important there should be proper coordination between the departments as well as within each department. Now we come to the next function, staffing. Staffing में हम क्या करते हैं? We choose suitable employees for various job positions. तो यहाँ पर हमें coordination या matching किस में चाहिए? We match the interest and ability of the candidate with the requirements of the job. इन दोनों में coordination, right person at right place at right time, right? Next is directing. Directing is about giving instructions. Now, what will happen if one superior is giving some instruction and another superior gives a contradictory instruction to the employee? The employee will be confused. So there needs to be coordination in directing also. The instructions given by different superiors should not be contradictory. And all managers should give instructions keeping in mind the objectives and plans formulated by their superiors. Then coordination in controlling. In controlling, what do we have to coordinate? The planned performance with the actual performance, or vice versa we can say, the actual performance with the planned performance. अगर actual performance planned performance से match नहीं हो रही है, then we will take corrective action to ensure that the actual performance is as per the planned performance, right? So in this way, you see, coordination is required in all the functions of management. That is why we say coordination is not a separate function of management, it is the essence of management, right? Now we come to importance or significance of coordination. As I said, we have to limit our answer to the points given in NCERT. Our point headings should be those only. There are 3 points given in NCERT for importance or significance of coordination. First is growth in size. You remember we took an example earlier when there is one small shop and the shopkeeper does not even have any helper. Now, how much coordination is required there? None, because there is only one person. With whom will he coordinate? Now suppose he keeps a helper. There are 2 people now. So some coordination is required between them. In this manner, as the number of employees increases in an organization, more the importance of coordination. More is there the need for good coordination, right? Second point is functional differentiation. As we discussed, different departments are created in an organization. Why? To ensure specialization. But their activities are interlinked, interrelated. So it is very important to maintain coordination between them for proper functioning of the organization. Third point is derivative of this second only. Since different departments are made on functional basis, a marketing department, a finance department, a production department, each of these departments comprises of experts of that particular field. For example, marketing department will have all experts related to marketing. The production department will have all experts related to production, and so on. And each field, professionals of each field have a different, may have difference of opinion. For example, those in marketing will be very good in convincing. Those in finance may be very calculative. They will calculate the benefits and costs of anything and then take a decision. So each department may have a different way of thinking, different orientation. If there is no coordination between them, then these differences of opinion may turn into conflicts. So we need coordination to ensure that there are no conflicts because of differences in attitude or thinking of different departments. Clear? Okay. This completes the chapter. You will complete the questions of this chapter now. And now we move on to the next chapter. Principles of management. What do we mean by principles? Principles are broad and general guidelines for decision making, behavior, and action. I repeat, broad and general guidelines. किस चीज की guidelines? जो managers को guide करती हैं decision लेने में, proper decisions लेने में, ठीक है? उसके अलावा proper behavior में कि कैसे उन्हें behave करना चाहिए and how managers are supposed to act in different situations. अब ये principles बने कैसे? बहुत से managers के बहुत सालों के observation, एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन और एक्सपीरियंस के बेसिस पे उन्होंने ये प्रिंसिपल्स फॉर्मुलेट किए, गाइडलाइंस फॉर्मुलेट की फॉर अदर मैनेजर्स टू फॉलो. ठीक है, हमारे सिलेबस में देयर आर टू मेन थियरीज ऑफ प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट. वन इज जनरल प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट गिवन बाय हेनरी फ्योल एंड द अदर वन इज साइंटिफिक मैनेजमेंट principles and techniques given by F.W. Taylor. First, we will discuss about Fiole's principles. Fiole said all industrial activities could be divided into technical, commercial, financial, security, accounting, and managerial. He further suggested that to manage these various activities, managers should possess physical, means they should be physically fit, moral, means they should have good ethics, good values, education, qualification, knowledge, and experience qualities. जितना experience होगा उतना और उनकी managerial skills improve होती जाएंगी. Henry Fiolle formulated 14 principles of management. How many? 14. He wrote a book in 1917, Administration Industriale et Generale, published in 1917, which was published in English as General and Industrial Management in 1949. In this book, he has suggested 14 principles of management. The first one is division of work. You remember the example we had taken, 3 friends organizing a picnic? What happens if 3 of them first decide everything, the venue, time, etc. Then all 3 of them start collecting money. All 3 of them go together to arrange the refreshment. All 3 of them go to book the bus and so on. Second scenario, 3 of them decide, okay, I'll collect money, you arrange refreshment, and you arrange transport. Which scenario is better? The second one. Why? Because पहले वाले में टाइम भी वेस्ट होगा, सारे लोग एक एक काम एक एक करके कर रहे हैं बारी बारी, जबकि सेकंड सिनेरियो में सारे काम साथ साथ हो सकते हैं. सेकेंडली, तीनों लोग हर काम में इन्वॉल्व होंगे तो स्पेशलाइजेशन किसी भी चीज में नहीं होगी उनकी. सेकंड सिनेरियो में स्पेशलाइजेशन हो रही है, जो जिस काम में इंटरेस्टेड है, जिसकी कैपेबिलिटी है, वो उससे रिलेटेड काम कर रहा है, तो वो उस काम में एक्सपर्ट हो जाएगा. right? So Fuel said work should be divided into various jobs and departments and assigned to employees on the basis of ability and interest to obtain benefits of specialization. For example, there is a car manufacturing factory. Suppose there are 10 employees. तो पहले 10 के 10 कार की बॉडी को पेंट करने में लग जाते हैं. फिर जब पेंट ड्राई होता है वो 10 के 10 उसमें स्टीयरिंग, एक्सीलरेटर, ब्रेक वगैरह फिट करने में लग जाते हैं. फिर वो 10 के 10 सीट्स फिट करने में लग जाते हैं एंड सो ऑन. Not a very good way of working. Better way is what? Let's say 2 of them paint the body of the car. When the paint dries, they move, the car moves in on the assembly line to the next station. At next station, 1 or 2 workers, they fit the steering, brake pedal, accelerator pedal, clutch pedal, etc. And they move the car to the next station. In the meantime, पीछे से और कार्स असेंबली लाइन पे नेक्स्ट कार उनके पास आती जा रही है. Then at third station the engine is fitted. They pass on to the fourth station. At fourth station seats are fitted. Now this is an example of division of work. So each one will be able to focus only on specific kind of activity, so they will become expert in that kind of activity. Secondly, there will be no interference from others in their activity. That will further improve specialization. Remember, when we discuss these principles, you will notice there are certain terms I have written in bold. For example, in this division of work, specialization is written in bold. These are keywords जो bold में लिखा हुआ है. जब आप इसे अपनी नोटबुक में लिखोगे तो अंडरलाइन कर लेना, ठीक है? Keywords का क्या मतलब है? These are those words without which this explanation is incomplete. तो अगर आप एग्जाम में लिखते हो डिवीजन ऑफ वर्क और उसे एक्सप्लेन करते हो, स्पेशलाइजेशन वर्ड इज अ मस्ट इन एक्सप्लेनेशन. अगर स्पेशलाइजेशन वर्ड एक्सप्लेनेशन में नहीं आता तो आपको डिवीजन ऑफ वर्क की एक्सप्लेनेशन के मार्क्स नहीं मिलेंगे. क्लियर? इसी तरह से और भी जो हम प्रिंसिपल्स डिस्कस करेंगे, जहां पर भी एक्सप्लेनेशन में कुछ वर्ड्स बोल्ड में दिए हुए हैं मैंने, दोज आर कीवर्ड्स. जब भी आप उस पॉइंट को एक्सप्लेन करोगे, वो वर्ड्स उसकी एक्सप्लेनेशन में आने ही चाहिए. दे आर मस्ट. क्लियर? ओके. नाउ समटाइम्स वी say that our government ministries or departments do not work very efficiently. Sometimes they do, sometimes they do not. What is wrong? This application of division of work may be wrong there. For example, who is our defense minister? Mr. Rajnath Singh. But he does not have any background in defense. In the same government, we have General V.K. Singh, who is an ex-army chief. If he was heading the defense ministry, I think his expertise could be utilized in a much better way over here. Similarly, our finance minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, she is doing a good job, but she is not a specialist in finance. Although she has many people working for her who are specialists in finance, who help her in taking decisions, making policies. But wouldn't it have been better if we had people like Piyush Goyal, Suresh Prabhu, who are ministers in the same government? They are chartered accountants. Any of them could have been the finance minister. Maybe would have done a much better job. So division of work emphasizes on this kind of specialization. Are we clear? So we stop our discussion over here today. Thank you very much.